Thank you everyone who joined in. Thank you for everyone who is going to be joining in. And of course, thanks to Satya and Kurt who are partnering with me today in this session. So we are going to be covering budgeting and forecasting with AI era, right? So how do you leverage latest technology, latest process, or latest know-how to saturate your entire funnel? With me, I think everybody knows if you ever run into any problem with Milestone, you call me. All compliment goes to the team. That's my introduction. With that, we have Kurt, our partner at Sojourn, Chief Product Officer of Sojourn, and Satya, Chief Product Officer for Milestone. So you have two geeks here. We have to figure it out. How do we keep geeks and have them tell us amazing stuff? We need to learn from both of them. With that, we are gonna get going. A little bit about Milestone. If you are brand new to Milestone, Milestone is a digital solution, software and a services company. We have a lot of different brands, thousands of locations who are using Milestone platform to build entire digital presence, entire funnel. We have some services on top of it, a lot of awards, and I will honestly not brag about Milestone and move to Sojourn. Sojourn is our partner. We work closely with Sojourn for intent travelers, awesome platform which gives marketers tools they need to drive demand, to convert customer, to go after intent travelers. With that, let me take few slides. What are the industry trends, right? Hospitality industry trends start from customer journey. What is our customer journey? Customer journey is typically there's 700 plus touch point when we think about customer journey. And overall, their entire funnel of customer, from discovery to experience to engagement, customer goes through a lot of micro moment. And I have given a link here. As a founder, one of my biggest thing is always, are we even solving the right problem? Do we have data which is giving us right insight? With that, where are these customers coming from? They are coming from OTAs. And this is a great information we received from HSMI and HEDNA, which channels they are coming from, where should we be allocating more budget, or where should we not be allocating more budget? Should we be allocating more budget to walk-ins, to group travels, to voice, and how, or direct? And if we are allocating more to direct, how? This is another really good insight we received from Sojourn, our partner, that hoteliers need intent data, right? There is a huge need for personalizing experiences, and guest is looking for more loyalty, more rewards, and more information to make responsible decision. Almost 40% of customers customers see better conversion, and I'm talking about hotels, when we are optimizing budget start to finish, when we are reducing dependencies on OTAs, when we are reducing, we are maximizing channel, but we are optimizing entire purchase funnel. And again, delivering personalized experiences. With that, we had a little bit insight, a lot of us visited HSMI and HEDNA conference. And there was a report which was distributed that where are hotels investing, right? Where is all the time and, large hotel, mid-sized hotel, or independent hotels are spending their time. They're spending their time in maintaining images. They are spending their time in maintaining rate parity, or they're spending more than 70% of the time in creating and understanding reports. And as industry is changing, this is a last these things needs to be out of the way. We need to automate all of these things so we can be where our customers are. A customer doesn't care about rate parity. They don't care about report. They want us as a hotel. They want us to be there where throughout their journey. And that's what we are going to be discussing today, that as you get ready for 2025, where you should be investing and where you shouldn't be investing. And our partners are going to talk about, Sojan is going to talk about that, and we will also share it with that. And then we will share with you budgeting and forecasting model. With that, I will take 30 more seconds. We did publish through HSMI top digital trends, and this report is available here. It's distributed through HSMI to all the members, which talks about what are some of the trends and what can as a business owner or a management company or a brand, what can you do to stay ahead when it comes to future proofing, when it comes to AI based search and saturating your entire funnel. With that, I am going to hand this over. So welcome, Kurt, and thank you so much. Again, amazing background, and couldn't be more excited to have him join us today. Go ahead, Kurt.
Great. Thanks a lot, Benu, and thanks for having me. It's really helpful, I think, for you to be providing kind of those insights out of the gate on kind of how the modern traveler's preferences and guest journey are changing, because more and more of the top clients that we talk to are asking, how do they better engage guests both through the buying and the actual guest journey? Because I think in the past, marketers have been very focused on that kind of net RevPAR when it comes to closing the deal, getting that booking. How do I attract and convert travelers? This is obviously key, but as hotel marketers look to maximize their total revenue per room, they're realizing that the booking is really only half the equation. And they can't simply stop and then let operations take things away and hope that things work out well. They need to be engaging that guest before they arrive, during that stay, and even after that stay to ensure both a happy guest and a positive review. We'll talk a little bit about that later. So, the challenge I think that our marketers run into today is you're dealing with this digital first consumer. And so how do you make this happen with higher expectations and also less resources than ever? And so for us, the way we think about this at Sojourn is the key is to break this down into two areas. One is, what do I need to do to drive that demand? What do I need to find that customer, get them to look at my hotel, and then in the end, actually book? So how do I drive that engagement side through advertising and marketing? We'll dig into that. And then the second piece is, okay, great, I've now got that customer. How do I engage them before and during that program so that they have a great stay? I make the most of that stay, and they're excited to become not just a guest once, but then become a guest again. And so the key to kind of making all of this happen is you've got to break it down and kind of leverage a smart combination of tech, tools, and then also teams. And so what I think we'll do is I'll walk you through kind of both sides of this equation, and we'll talk about how we can leverage both technology overall and then also AI and Gen AI to really make these things happen. So let's start with kind of the left-hand side of the equation, acquisition. So if you jump to the next slide, great. So looking at that funnel, the challenge today with that kind of digital first consumer is how do you make it happen with higher expectations and less resources when it comes to that specific engagement metric? And so when we look at connecting with that connected traveler, it means you've got to take a digital first approach across both organic and paid media. This is really important because I think too often people focus in kind of one side of the funnel or the other and don't understand that you need to be leveraging both to attract that customer at the top of the funnel, get them in that consideration stage, make sure you've got the right content and the right messaging, And then in the lower funnel, what are you doing to close the deal? How are you making sure from an organic standpoint that that website is optimized for conversions, that you're hitting them with retargeting ads, that you've got them in the lower end of the funnel. You've got to make sure that your website, your content, your SEO, all those things are working together with your paid channels. And that's a challenge and an opportunity. And so when we think about it, our view is that you've got to really kind of break this down into three main areas. One is data, the next is content, and then on top of that, or kind of leveraging all that, is technology. Okay? So as we think about data, the key is you've got to access strong first-party data. Then you've also got to access hotel data. So think about pricing, availability, et cetera. And then you've got to have that broader market index data and intent data so that you can understand market demand. The better your data across all three of these, the more you'll know about the customer you want to target at that top end. The more you're going to know what do you need to win for that customer, right? So how big is your demand? How hard do you want to work to get that customer? And then also from a market standpoint, knowing demand, what are my chances of winning that customer against total demand? And so when you're thinking about this from a data standpoint, if you jump to the next slide, you really want to think about how do I get the most data that I can in order to drive that direct booking? So here are questions kind of that I would be asking as I'm thinking about going into budget season around that funnel and when it comes to guest data and data overall. So one is, do I have access to the cloud across all my platforms? So do I have a cloud-based PMS? Second, am I looking at real-time ARI, revenue management analytics, and visibility so that I understand in real time what is my supply-demand management approach? Because you've got to make sure that you understand how much demand you need in order to drive that demand. And then last, make sure that you've got tech partners that have that visibility into the broader real-time travel intent data so that you can build effective audiences to target. Because today you can't be doing a spray and pray while everybody else is taking a data-driven approach. So the key here is thinking about data in the cloud, because if it's not in the cloud, you can't access it across channels, and we'll talk about that later. Getting data both on the customer and data on your property, and then kind of pulling out and having effective data about overall intent in the market. And so then next, if we think about this from a cross-channel strategy, this is where two pieces come into play. One is content. You've got to have compelling video, images, written content. Without that, you're not going to be able to tell your story, and you're not going to be able to differentiate the experiences across the different levels of the funnel, right? So how can you get your guests excited about a spa if they don't even know that you have one? And you've got to understand that when you think about each of these channels, video and display do really well at the top of the funnel from a video standpoint, and then bottom of the funnel from retargeting, et cetera. And each channel has a specific need. And what we'll get into is, first off, you've got to have the data understand where someone is in the journey so that you can pick that effective channel. Next, you've got to have it, as I mentioned, that content so that you're engaging them in an effective way. So questions to ask when I'm thinking about this from a budget standpoint is, do I have compelling content? And do I have that in a CMS, in a content management system, so that I can leverage that content effectively? Do my ad partners, are they able to customize by channel and by stage? Can I be telling a different story in social than I can in display? And then, is my site ready to tell my story? So once I'm driving everyone to that site, is that site aligned with the messages that I'm giving across channel? And then when I think about engaging one-to-one, email, SMS, WhatsApp, do I have an appropriate message to that user, right? There's nothing worse than getting a message from a hotel you've stayed at before that says, hey, you've got to try our hotel for the first time. It's an amazing place. You've got to have the right content tied to that right customer so that you can be giving a personalized, compelling experience. And so the next thing is that AI-powered ad tech and technology play. So here you've got to have strong data management with your PMS, your CMS, and CRM, as we talked about. You then have to have a strong website user experience and email marketing. And then you get into the ad tech. And when we think about this at Sojourn, we think about AI-powered ad tech coming in kind of four main buckets. How am I leveraging data and technology to identify the right customers to be going after? Who's in market to travel today? If you think about the tens of millions of customers that are out there trying to target, you can't be sitting there building personas like in the old-fashioned manner and just think that you can pick the right customers and hope that they're in the right place. This is where AI is really powerful, and I'll go into an example of that. So you've got to identify those right customers you want to be going after, and that's models to understand their propensity and profile and score. And then once you score those users, you drop those into buckets to target. And even there, you're prioritizing which customers to target across which channels and how much to pay for those users. There are millions of auctions that are happening real time all the time. And so you need to know who you want to target for a specific ad at a specific time across a specific channel. And so once you've understood who you want to target and how you want to target, you've got to activate them. And here's one of the biggest challenges. So in order to be effective, you've got to be really engaging across 5, 6, 7, 8 different ad tech platforms. So there's no way that even the smartest human is going to be able to ingest potential traveler data, put those travelers into buckets, and then activate those travelers across programmatic display, social, search, WhatsApp, etc. You've got to be leveraging an AI-powered platform and AI-powered decision-making in order to activate that. And then in the end, you're maximizing that via real-time updates and adjustments. Again, not leveraging your decision-making on your own, but leveraging models, data, and the correct content to make it happen. So let me just give kind of a detailed example here of how AI is driving this. So first off, as I talked about, you've got to have the right data and the right information, right? So what are your objectives? What are your goals? What are the pricing types, et cetera? So that's all the smart data, because it's one of those things like good data out, good actions, good data in, good actions out. Bad data in, you're lighting $1 million log on fire, and it's a total waste of time. So what happens though is when you start integrating AI, is that you're actually able to build out campaigns, and bids and budgets are being changed in real time, not on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, but on a daily basis based on information you're getting. AI is going to predict the likelihood of a user to convert, and therefore that will influence what you're willing to spend. It also looks at your rates and availability to understand, am I in a high demand period? If I am, I'm going to bid lower because I don't need that customer as much. If I'm in a low demand period, I'm going to bid high because I really need to close that deal. And so this is the power of leveraging AI and machine learning in order to really maximize the intelligence going in and maximize the performance in real time to drive campaigns across channels, across stories, and up and down that funnel. It is a major challenge, but a major opportunity. And if you are taking the right data inputs, leveraging the right content, and leveraging the right technology, you'll be able to really drive performance. And later we'll talk about how you can leverage that actually in building your forecasts and your planning. But so now that you've leveraged tech in a more effective way, you've set that tech stack from a data standpoint, you've got the right content management in place, and you've got that right ad tech platform to be driving those users, then you've got to drive that experience. And this is where I would say Gen AI is taking things to the next level. Because here what you can be doing is you can be giving that magical personalized experience, but without having to have a ton of people to do that. And this allows you to give personalized experiences pre-arrival, in-stay, and after-stay. And this has a huge impact because, for example, if you are looking, if a customer is trying to learn more about current activities in their stay, we've got a hotel that, for example, offers babysitting services. They had a terrible time trying to engage customers around that. But when they found out that they've got customers in their CRM, they know that it's a family, they can actually deliver a one-to-one message via text saying, hey, by the way, we have babysitting services. Click here to book. This increased their adoption of babysitting dramatically. So think about how you could leverage that for early check-in, late checkout, how you can leverage that for restaurant, for other add-on services, so that you're not just engaging customers effectively, but you're also monetizing based on their specific needs. It's critically important to do this effectively. And again, you've got to leverage data. You've got to have the right data into those Gen AI platforms so that they're giving accurate information in real time. You've got to have that right content so that you're giving the right message at the right time. And then from a tech standpoint, you've got to make sure that you've got AI-powered guest experience, guest engagement that is plugged into a cloud-based PMS, CRM, so you're able to activate effectively. And so let me just give one quick example here. So one thing when we talked about this is hotel guest reviews. One of the biggest challenges and opportunities is we know guest reviews drive a huge impact on your ability to drive conversions and drive performance from a pricing standpoint. So the challenge is more and more people are giving guest reviews. So how do you handle this effectively? With Gen AI, what you can do is the platform can literally ingest all of the guest reviews they're getting every single day. Take a look at those guest reviews based on the data that it has about your hotel, provide you with literally 6 different recommended responses for those reviews. You can quickly edit those reviews, pick the one you want, and send that off to Google, to TripAdvisor, etc. This can be saving minutes, hours for hotels in order to drive positive reviews, positive response, and positive behavior without the army of people that it has taken in the past. And so finally, when you think about this across that whole journey, if you jump to the next slide, when you think about that awareness, that booking and pre-arrival, in-stay, post-stay, and loyalty, leveraging Gen AI, machine learning, and technology overall is critically important. And so if you think about when you're budgeting for the next year, thinking about, do I have the right data and the right data management? Do I have the right content and content management? And from a tech standpoint, do I have the right platforms to be able to target effectively across channels and then engage customers once I've booked them?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I think throughout the presentation, I can hear it loud and clear, right data, right? We cannot be just doing rollover report, one entire year, exactly where is the data, right? And where is the customer touch point data? Or have 15 channels without synchronizing with each other, right? Because customer doesn't care about the channel, they care about the journey.
That's
With
exactly.
that, thank you so much, Kurt. This was amazing. And with that, I will ask Satya to take it on. How do we, age of AI, how do we future proof, and where, when it comes to experience, how do we make it happen, Satya? Go ahead.
Yeah, so my talk has some overlapping points with Kurt. I'm going to come to you guys from aspect of delivering digital experiences and why it is relevant for this ecosystem. First and foremost thing, this is the data that is being provided by McKinsey in the state of tourism and hospitality in May. 42% of millennial travelers are using short video content, and 14% of them are already using GenAI for doing their travel planning. And 40% of travelers report search is one of their critical source of inspiration. But of course, they do look for recommendations from family and friends. So reputation and experiences are going to matter here. And of course, 52% of the younger generation, they would sacrifice cost towards travel experiences, which means that folks, this market and this ecosystem is looking for better digital experience, both digital experiences and on-property experiences, in order to basically get inspiration for doing their overall travel planning. And of course, recommendations and from family and friends and what they experience is also going to influence the overall travel behavior. Then as a business, what are all these digital experiences that we can control and we can deliver? If we go to the next slide, we can start looking at this full funnel of digital experiences that we need to be planning around. And all of these, as we are thinking about these digital experiences, it's almost going to be mandatory. Think about what are the requirements that we need to bring in so that we can deliver these digital experiences. First and foremost is going to be we started talking about search. Now, search in itself is transforming, and we need to start thinking about how are my travelers looking at using AI powered search? How are they looking up my property information? How are they looking up inspiration? And in order for you to deliver that value, you need to start thinking about local schemas, technical SEO, helpful content. I'll go slightly more deeper in this. Concierge services is another huge area where folks want to talk to the property. Folks want to talk to concierge as they are thinking about, oh, I want to plan an itinerary. I want to do plan my trip better. I want to look for things around not just stay at the property, but also things to do around the property. The new trend in this ecosystem is bringing in these AI agents, which augment these concierge services, augment this customer support in delivering a lot of these value-added services. There are a lot of content that is embedded in the website, which never gets surfaced to the customers. And these AI agents are doing a tremendous job of augmenting some of these human concierge in delivering this value-added customer support. And in order for them, one of the biggest things that users are looking forward is personalization and personalized recommendations based on my past trips, my past behavior, my previous purchases, my tendencies is going to be almost critical for hotels to understand the user behavior, the travelers who have booked with me in the past, and make sure that I customize my digital experiences, customize the digital experiences for their requirements. And in order for you to deliver that, you do need a personalization engine. You do need to have a CDP and a CRM to support it. The last part is, of course, mobile friendliness we've talked about mobile friendliness since 2015, 2016, ever since Google and Apple have been talking about it. But a lot of our booking technologies have not moved that far ahead. Users are really looking for frictionless payments, frictionless rebooking, adapting to travel changes. And they want that booking engine and these concierge services to talk to each other and help them plan their travel really well and help them book with a whole lot of conveniences that are required for this modern day travelers. And beyond staying at the property, there is also a need to look for, hey, I want to try out some of the local cuisine. I want to go attend some of the events that are nearby. I want to know what are all the things to do on property. So post-booking also, there is need for tight engagement with the travelers to make sure that they are engaged and they have sufficient planning tools to continue fine-tuning their plan as per their tastes and as per their requirements. And of course, post-travel touch points are going to be critical. Kurt talked to you guys about hey, asking them for reviews, asking them for feedback, asking them for points where they can improve. So this is going to be very critical in order for hotels to basically ask for have multiple touch points. These touch points should not be too creepy. At the same time, have a subtle way of essentially collecting feedback on what did they like, what didn't they like, what didn't they like. Now, having all of this information, you need a place to store this information. That's where the CRM and CDP are going to play a huge role, because you have made the reservation, you have the traveler on property, they have told you what are the things they like, what are the things they did not enjoy, what are their preferences. Now think about it as this now going back into the loop again, feeding them back as they come back to the site for future bookings. You are now going to continue fine-tuning their offering on the page, continue personalizing their experience. Now, this is a full funnel digital experience for hotels. Now, why is it critical, right? Every single aspect of it, as you think about plan and deploy, every single hotel member that we have partnered with and we have delivered this sophisticated digital experiences, they have seen increase in ROI, increase in bookings, increase in conversion, increase in top of the funnel, every aspect, and increase in retention, and a lot more data that has been collected about user behavior, which becomes valuable for further fine-tuning and customizing your offer. Now let's start jumping into how is this going to work in the AI powered search and marketing strategy. We all understand that Google, Bing, ChatGPT, or OpenAI, Anthropic, Perplexity, there are a whole lot of AI-based search engines that are going to change the way users are looking for information, users are planning their travel. But there are some of the fundamentals is not going to change. Things like understanding your doing some research on what is my intent, what is the content strategy around my user intent, how are the user interaction is going to be influenced by some of the content strategy, what type of experiences that these user interactions are going to transform into, and then how do I make sure that this strategy that I have built and the intent mapping that I've built, it's not just limited to my website, but across every single digital touch point my guests are basically going to be looking at. Finally, how do I make sure that all of the data, all of the information that I have is democratized across my organization? I don't want marketing team to have one set of data. I don't want my customer support to have another set of data. I want to be able to democratize the whole thing and make sure that all of the, as an organization, you can actually speak with authority. You have digital relevancy. You have digital authority at every single channel that you are publishing. What does this do? This does what, when you are able to deploy this with customer intent, if you're able to deploy this, your AI visibility increases. You're more and more visible on multiple intents that your users are looking for. Now, in order for us to, as we transition into this, preparing our organization to AI-driven search, I talked about some of the fundamental things as an organization you need to look at. First and foremost thing, you need to change the way you're thinking about content. As you're doing research on customer intent, customer strategy, and your content strategy, you need to start thinking about helpful content. What does that mean? Google wants the properties, Google and Bing wants you to tell them how you are going to help their customers and not about your business. So what does that mean is that if I want a hotel has a restaurant, I want them to say, hey, we serve vegan, gluten-free food. We have allergen-free food options. We offer guests this level of culinary experiences. That's what search engines want you to provide them. That's what AI agents, AI search is wanting from the content that they glean off your website. And that tied together with images and videos make it a really powerful message for the users, because users are not only looking at content, but they're also looking at the images that are coming out of the search, the videos that are coming out of it, giving them a comprehensive search digital experience. Now, added to that, they want you to have a very strong local profile, be it on Maps, be it on Apple Maps, Google Maps, Bing Maps, any map where They look for you, be it looking for direction, looking for phone numbers, hours of operation, what time is the restaurant open. All of this, they want it to be available. It needs to be optimized. It needs to have information, and it needs to have Q&As. Having a schema markup on your site is going to improve the visibility of your site. It is going to improve the entities that Google detects. Now, what are these entities? If I'm a hotel, now hotel is an entity. Now hotel has rooms, and those are the products that the hotel is offering. Hotel has a restaurant, that is a sub entity within the hotel. Now the restaurant has here are the different types of restaurants they have. Here are the menus that are products that are offered by the restaurants. Here are the experiences offered by the restaurant. Here are the spa services offered within the hotel. All of that basically roll into multiple entities, into one single entity, which is the hotel, which is the organization. And having that level of understanding helps these AI-driven searches to better understand your website, so they can surface the information that is there on your website in a much better way. And last of it, this is almost mandatory. You need to have a very, very strong technical help. You need to make sure your site is crawlable, your site is indexable, your page experiences are magnificent. It's not just about delivering these, having this content, having these videos, and having these images. It's also about making sure that they are delivered to your users at the highest fidelity. And that's going to be almost mandatory to have these experiences built up. Once we have talked about search, now you have created the awareness. Now your users are coming to your website, and you want to start engaging with them. Now, engaging these users, some of the newer technologies that folks have started to think about is, how can I use these agents to deliver better experiences? What do these agents do? These agents, when the users are coming and interacting with my website, they build awareness. They tell them about events that are happening. They help them plan an itinerary. They help them plan, I'm going to this particular resort. Now this resort has zip lining. This resort has scuba diving. They have spa experiences. I'm a family traveler. I am interested in all these outdoor activities. How do I plan my itinerary? These concierge agents are going to help you with this. I don't have to sit and have a human literally sit and type and deliver these kind of planning. These concierge agents are going to help them plan this out for you. And then from there, automatically making these reservations, making these bookings. And then these agents also further come back, and then post sales, they are able to re-engage with them. Say, how was your experience? Did you go to the zip lining? Did you enjoy the scuba diving experience? Or are you a honeymoon traveler? Did you enjoy the spa experiences? Or did you enjoy the walk by the beach? Or did you enjoy the romantic dinner? Collecting that feedback, collecting that post sales engagement, agents can also drive some of this. What do these agents are doing? Number one, they are reducing the amount of the cost of human involvement in trying to build and deliver some of these unique experiences for your customers. Number two, they are really building around the latest information that is available in your property, be it offers, be it events. They are able to quickly update, learn based on what is happening within the property, and give the best possible experiences for your users. And if you go to the next slide, and looks like again a copy paste issue here. We started deploying some of these agents, and we see that hotels leveraging these AI agents are seeing a huge increase in their ROI, in their ability to retain customers, ability to increase the engagement of the customers within their properties. And their conversion levels have increased significantly, and they are able to deliver very, very personalized experiences for them. As we go further, the next in the business is, we talked about helpful content, we talked about agents. What do these systems need is a whole lot of content, because somebody has to feed these guys. Somebody has to feed the search engine. Somebody has to feed these agents, and somebody has to write content for all of these use cases. And again, AI comes to help drive the ROI, help drive your business. Now, of course, content writers are inundated with so much requirement coming across from multiple parts of the organization. The customer support team is now asking, write 100 pieces of content for my knowledge base to train my AI. Now your organic team is coming and saying, I need so much of content so that my AI, I'm ranking on my AI overviews. And paid media team now is coming and asking for more pieces of content as channel. They want to saturate more and more channel. And as these content writers are inundated, what hotels are now leaning towards, again, AI to help them solve some of this content challenges. If you go to the next slide, hotels are successfully being able to, and we ourselves worked with our properties, and of course our partner Sojourn is also helping hospitality customers leverage AI for not just for content generation, be able to building display ads, dynamically building some of these ad creatives as well. But AI, when leveraged correctly with the capabilities, having the right brand voice, right brand templates, having these campaigns, AI can really help you to essentially create content for earned media, owned media, and of course for paid media. And having that right level of infrastructure within the organization can essentially combine all of this and create this holistic way of using and applying AI across the organization. Thereby, you not only are using AI to accelerate some of the content requirements that is just being thrown at you, but you're also able to maintain the same level of consistency. We don't want one team to write a PR content in a brand voice and your website blog is sounding completely different. That level of uniformity is going to be achievable having that one centralized holistic infrastructure, which is for having one single place for brand voice, one single place for my templates, and have one unified way of writing and building and deploying campaign. As we move further, I don't want, as we are thinking just about content, I don't want us to forget that images and videos are going to play a huge role in AI overviews. AI search relies heavily on images. AI and hotels need to be able to promote themselves through some of these rich media, and that can be driven only through ensuring that all your images are optimized for search, and that significantly increases organic impressions, and it drives a huge ROI just by simply optimizing your images for search and optimizing your images together with your content, optimizing your videos together with your content for AI overview search.
And also leveraging AI to get machine learning to get some kind of a score, so we know which image is a quality image. Yeah, very, very good point. Go ahead.
And last but not least, as we talked about AI agents, as we talked about some of this AI technologies, one of the key things is that delivering things personalized for the user is where everybody's going. Search engines are delivering it. If I search for hotels versus what Kurt is going to search for and what Benu is going to search for, each one of us will have a different result customized for my past search experience, which means search engines are personalized. Almost mandatory now as a property owner, as a hotel, you need to understand and start personalizing your website experience, your omni-channel experience for their requirements, for their needs. You need to almost understand that what are their intents, how can I customize it, how can I learn from their behavior, how do I customize it based on their digital interactions, browsing behavior, the ads that they see. And of course, having a CDP and a CRM is going to definitely help you build that user profile that is going to continue to be enriched as they come and interact with your brand more and more. And what we have noticed is having personalized experience almost is mandatory. We are seeing 16, 17x returns whenever you start personalizing the experience for the users. If we go to the next slide, I wanted to share with you guys some of the ROI that we are seeing for personalized experience, even simple, and these are very simple experiences. And just because we deployed a very personalized experience, we are almost seeing 17x ROI on this whole digital on this whole personalization initiative. And it's because we are able to simplify the whole concept of personalization into sort of a recipe model, we are not only are delivering very personalized experience, at the same time, we are seeing an increase in conversion and better return on investment for some of the initiatives and campaigns that we are building. Now, all of this said and done, what is that hotels need to think about when they're thinking about their budget? AI is almost going to be mandatory. You need to plan and budget for having some form of AI system within your organization. And having this AI system will require a lot of data. So which means having a centralized platform where you are integrating it and having one centralized way of distributing the content and distributing data to these AI engines is going to be mandatory. As you're thinking about AI, data privacy, user privacy is going to be mandatory. Having personalization is amazing. Having a CDP and CRM drive these personalized experiences is going to be amazing, but you have to make sure they are not creepy. If you're still stuck on legacy stack, you need to start thinking about cloud. Having that infrastructure is going to help you across the channel. Every single initiative that Kurt was talking about, all these digital experiences I'm talking about, all of them have been built on the latest stack, latest technologies. And having that is going to be almost mandatory, but you need to balance that technology together with a human touch. We are thinking about AI-friendly architecture, personalization, but we cannot, as we are delivering guest experiences, we cannot let go of personalized human touch that is almost mandatory. And every department in your hotel needs to understand AI, and the comprehensive training is almost mandatory. With that, I'm going to hand it back to Behnam.
Thank you so much, Satya, and very well said. Yes, budgeting and forecasting is almost real time today, but it starts with what is our goal, which channel we want to prioritize, what are our objectives, what is our funnel looks like, what is our customer journey, right? What are the micro movements, and how are we going to stitch that journey together? Like Kurt talked about, intent travelers. If we personalize that experience with babysitting and start from intent traveler and take it all the way through with website and the content, and really not think about 15 channel, but think about that intent traveler and how we are removing friction, start to finish, cross-channel, cross-department, cross-vendor. That's when we are going to win. And for that, you need data. And your data needs to be raw, real good quality data, and your infrastructure, which is going to enable your data to be used in a most effective way. And that's when, Marston has built a forecasting model, which is what we are trying to release, which consumes all of this information, gives you an allocation based on historical data. But you cannot give allocation if you don't have all this historical data. And then you can budget and forecast. You can say, hey, I want to increase my revenue by 20%. Here is all the data across my customer, my channels, my consumer journey, and it gives you budget, and you can refine your budget based on your goal. But budget also aligns with what are your use cases, where do you really want to go? And again, there is a whole article which we are publishing on Search Engine Land around forecasting and budgeting, and how do you really handle it real time. And foundation of it is knowing your travelers, knowing the intent, where they want to go, and then nailing it down. We also have created this really nice visualization where businesses can take this visualization and say, hey, my goal is to increase awareness by 25%. But then what KPI I'm going to use? If your awareness is 25%, then your KPI cannot be booked revenue because it's top of the funnel. And if your conversion is your KPI, then you're bottom of the funnel. And that's where your campaign mix and all of that, which channel you're going to prioritize is going to change, right? With AI, I always talk about 20-80 rules. You have to do actually less things and be very curated about what you're doing, and always measure impact of what you're doing. I know I'm running against the time, so I'm going to fast forward. Just the key takeaway here. traveler ecosystem is growing. Millennials and Gen Zs are prioritizing experiences. It's not about I am good for everyone. I need to be really good for customers who wants to work with us. So full funnel, right? How do we invest in personalizing full funnel experience? This is why Milestone works with Sojourn and several other partners to bring that total funnel to our customer. AI will play a significant role, but we absolutely need strategy and budget and all the focus on quality of data. And hotels must budget for AI driven experiences so that we can create content on a fly. We can create content, images, have quality images centralized, which can be pushed across all channels. And last but not least, budgeting and forecasting in AI era needs real time, can be real time, but it actually requires a really good infrastructure and qualitative data across all channels. With that, I am going to open it up. There are a lot of ebooks, which I am going to keep it here. But with that, let's open it up. I know there are a few questions coming, and you have few minutes to take questions. Any questions? Well, either we were too good or we don't have any question. Gaurav, are you seeing some question coming in? Or I can just take it if we are not asking. I was so intrigued. So, Kurt, are you seeing these kind of questions coming in from your from your hotel owners or management companies, that where should they focus or how should they budget? Are you seeing some of these questions coming in, that how do I pull all this data together?
Yeah, I think that some of the biggest questions that we're hearing is, okay, I'm getting into 2025 planning right now. How do I make sure that I've got the right stack in place? How do I make sure that I've got that infrastructure that you talked about, Banu?
Yeah.
Because I think people are hearing, okay, I've got to do this and do that, but then they're looking and saying, I've got data over here, I've got data over here. I'm not actually in a position to even start. So I think that's a lot of the thing that I try to talk about, as you say, okay, then start at the center. How is your PMS set up? How does that align with your CRM, CDP capabilities? How does that align with your content management capabilities? And then here's a list of 5 questions to be asking your advertising partners. What are they doing? What data are they using to forecast? What data are they using to build your plan? What data are they using to build audiences, activate, and then optimize? Because that's going to allow you to set the baseline of, is my tech infrastructure ready to go? Or do I need to start there and knock that out? And then 2, am I working with the right partners to actually execute against my plans? So those are kind of the big areas of focus that I'm hearing clients hitting me up with.
Yeah, no, completely. That's the same question we get all the time. Hey, our channel distribution, how do we maximize here? But again, you don't have centralized data. With that, I'm going to take this question from Reginald. What are your suggestions for those attached to large brands who control the data and prohibits individual franchisees from having their guests in the CRM or to perform direct marketing to them? So it's really, if you are part of a large brand, how do you leverage the data which brand has to do direct marketing at individual location? That's actually a very good question. Satya, Kurt, you guys want to take that?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I mean, what I would do is I'd be asking the same questions that I'm asking, that I would be asking any partner. I'd be talking to the field marketing people at my brand and really looking to say, how do I partner with you, field marketing team, to be doing all these essential digital first, connected consumer first activities? Because that's what they're there for. And so I think it's really making sure that they are stepping up to the plate and supporting you on having multi-channel advertising opportunity, that they're supporting you to help you drive that personalized experience with those customers. So I think you've got to ask those questions to the brand and say, okay, if I'm not in control, how are you in control on my behalf to help me make that happen?
Awesome. Yeah.
One of the things that I'll look for is also I can start working with the brand to see if there's an opportunity for vanity sites for my property, for my F&Bs, with which I get to control some of the content. I can customize the content for local markets, which are relevant for me. I can get to build the content against my local competitors, which brand corporate might not be aware of. This definitely, some of these vanity sites in our experiences partnering with brands help some of this incremental traffic to your site, and as well as for your brand, and still get to control some of your marketing requirements.
Yeah. You don't get what you don't ask for, right? That's a great point.
Other thing I would say is, and we do work with a lot of brands where we are working with their field marketing and their corporate teams. I would say just personalizing those experiences when you know that, let's say you have somebody, your audience coming, and let's say Oakland Raiders or whichever sports or weddings, you start kind of creating content, making sure that content exists on your brand site as well. Right? So really curating those journey rather than which channel, but which journey. Okay, awesome. I think there is, okay, so we did. Yeah, if we want to, we have 2 minutes remaining. If you want to, Gaurav, you want to do a quick polling question, and then we can wrap it up. Again, I have so many questions which I can ask Satya and Kurt, but I want to open this up for everyone. Do you have the question ready, Gaurav?
Yeah, Binu, and we just dropped the Sojourn ebook, so please download that, and we'll just do a real quick poll now.
Wonderful. So have you started the budgeting process, and where are you allocating your dollars, or what help you need? Okay, with that, Gaurav, are we getting
5 more seconds, man.
Wonderful. This is fun. This was a fun webinar. I get to hang out with few geeks here.
Benu, you were right in the ranks there.
All right.
I keep trying. Okay, Gaurav, you got it?
Yes.
Okay, let me have you share. Optimizing full funnel. Well, our webinar really worked that. Optimizing full funnel intent travelers. That's great. And of course, we should spend a little bit more time in personalizing experiences and content. But yes, optimizing entire funnel, it's a key for us to really get the best. With that, I will wrap it up. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Satya. This was really fun. If there's any other question anybody has, please do reach out. Thanks a lot, team.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.